I assume we're gonna start with our pledge and our acknowledgement of tribal land and all of that good stuff.
Yep.
All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Juro fidelidad a la bandera de los Estados Unidos de América y a la república que representa una nación bajo Dios, indivisible, con libertad y justicia para todos. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, the Zia symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures. Saludo la bandera del Estado de Nuevo México, el símbolo Zia de amistad perfecta entre culturas unidas. And our acknowledgement of tribal land. We acknowledge that our Board of Education meeting is taking place on occupied Indigenous land. We acknowledge the Tesuque Pueblo lands and other tribal lands in which we stand. We honor these people, past, present, and future. We acknowledge the history and ongoing colonization of where we are sitting right now in New Mexico and in our country. We acknowledge our own place in the story of colonization. Thank you, everyone. We have a very simple agenda tonight. Superintendent, do we need to make any changes to our very simple agenda?
No changes this evening. Board President Jose.
All right. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I move to approve the agenda.
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right. Our agenda is approved. We can move on to our action item, which is the 2022-2023-14 resolution authorizing the issuance of a lease purchase arrangement and notes to acquire education technology equipment in the amount of $11 million. Superintendent.
Thank you, Board President Jose. With us tonight is Mr. Eric Harrigan and Mr. Art Melendres. Gentlemen.
Great. Thank you very much, Madam President, members of the board. Eric Harrigan, RBC Capital Markets. I am sharing my screen. Hopefully you can see my presentation.
We can.
Excellent. So the board has authorized the issuance of general obligation bonds as well as the necessity to issue education technology notes. This morning, the district did go out to the market and sell both of those bonds, 20 million of general obligation bonds and 11 million of education technology notes. Those education technology notes were broken up into two series, 5 million of tax exempt and 6 million of taxable bonds. The general obligation bonds were very well received. They got a total of 25 million in orders from investors. The true interest cost on those bonds was a 3.067%. The bonds will have an optional redemption date in 2030, giving the district the ability to call or redeem those bonds at lower interest rates if that is achievable at that time. And then on the 2023A bonds, which is the tax exempt portion, the true interest cost was a 2.889%. And then the taxable component was a 4.674%. Just to note, from a structuring standpoint, we had the taxable bonds maturing first to limit the total interest cost to the district. On this page, we show all of the various orders that were received by investors during the order period. As I mentioned, just a little over 25 million of orders came in for the GEO bonds, and just a little over 5 million for the tax exempt education technology notes, and right at 6 million for the taxable education technology notes. There were a couple of other, and I'm just going to kind of move forward ahead here real quickly. There were a couple of other school districts in New Mexico that were in the market, specifically Eunice and Loving. And the Santa Fe schools was very well received. It achieved rates at 20 to 30 basis points lower than those other two schools, which is always good to see how the district is performing, not only to the broader market, but also other bond sales that are occurring in the market. I'll turn it over here to Art in just a few moments, but I just wanted to kind of highlight a couple of things that have been going on in the market. Most recently, as you may have seen, that both the CPI and the PPI index did come in favorably, meaning we're seeing inflation lower than what was anticipated, and the market did respond quite favorably to those economic releases, and we were very pleased with the results on the pricing. And I'm happy to answer any questions that the district has. I know I covered this at a pretty quick pace, but I'm happy to get into more detail if you would like. And if no questions, Madam President, I will turn it over to Art Melendres with the Modular Law Firm.
I do not have any questions. Do any other board members have any questions at this time? All right, Mr. Melendres.
Okay, I had to unmute, sorry. I will be very brief also. Eric has really covered the important aspects of the sale. What we are asking you in this resolution is by an affirmative vote to award the sale of the educational technology lease and notes to Stiefel Nicholas. They are the underwriters who have agreed to purchase after marketing, and they are on board. They will sign a bond purchase agreement. So in the document that you have, I think in the file and before you, we list the salient information about the par amount, the interest rate, the yield on the bonds, and the rest of the document, while it's several pages long, I just say, most of you have done this before. It tracks specifically New Mexico law and includes references to federal tax law, which we agree to comply with. We provide a legal notice of this sale if you act affirmatively. And as Eric said, very well received, $11 million worth of ed tech, which I know the district will put to good use. And last thing I'll say, we have worked with the tech department, and they provided us, as we provided you, a list of equipment that will be purchased in the coming months and year if necessary. And with that, I will stand for any questions that you have. I turn it back to the superintendent.
Thank you so much, Mr. Melendres. Any questions from the board? All right, Superintendent?
I'd go ahead and move approval of the resolution.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Was that Vice President Anderson with the second? And Member Noble with the motion? All in favor of approving, please say aye. Aye. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We appreciate your hard work on this.
Congratulations.
Yep. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. You too.
Bye, everybody.
All right, we're adjourned. Thanks so much.
Good night.
I didn't realize we weren't adjourned already. I'm sorry. Opening my big mouth. See you later.